Welcome back to my channel, Rare Coins Shop. If you're excited about finding hidden gems in your pocket change, you're in the right place. First, we're going to uncover some of the most valuable and rare US coins that could be worth a fortune. Let's dive in. We're talking about the 1979 United States $1 coin. Now before you rush off thinking, wait, isn't that just one of those old, clunky dollars no one uses anymore? Slow down. Because this isn't just any dollar coin. This one carries a story of innovation, controversy, and yes, hidden value. So sit tight, because by the end of this video, you might find yourself checking your coin jar with a magnifying glass. Let's rewind the clock to the late 1970s. The US Mint was facing a challenge. Americans were carrying around paper dollar bills that wore out quickly and cost more to replace. The solution? Introduce a durable, coin-based alternative. Enter the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar. For the first time in US history, a real woman, not a symbolic figure, was featured on circulating coinage. Susan B. Anthony, the pioneering women's rights activist, was chosen to represent liberty, progress, and equality. Her stern profile was etched into the front, while an adaptation of the Apollo 11 mission insignia, the majestic eagle landing on the moon, graced the reverse. Sounds pretty iconic, right? But here's where it gets complicated. The coin's size and appearance caused confusion. It was close in size and color to the quarter, and people kept mixing the two up. As a result, it wasn't well received by the public and failed to gain traction. Still, in 1979, the Mint produced a large quantity, over 750 million of them. But as with many things in the world of coin collecting, the real value lies in the details. Here's where things start to heat up. In that first year, 1979, several different varieties of the Susan B. Anthony dollar were struck, and some of those varieties are extremely rare. One of the most notable and sought-after versions is the wide rim or near date variety. On this coin, the rim is thicker, and the date appears closer to the edge. This was an early design change that was quickly altered, and only a limited number were minted with this feature, but that's just the beginning. There are also rare errors and anomalies from the minting process, things like double dies, off-center strikes, and transitional errors where leftover planchets from previous years were accidentally used. Each of these unusual quirks makes a coin one of a kind and can dramatically increase its value, and let's not forget about condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with MS 70 being a perfect, flawless coin. Most $1,979 coins you'll find in circulation are worn down from decades of handling. But if you happen to stumble across one in pristine, mint state, especially a rare variety, you might be in for a surprise. So how can you tell if you have one of the rare ones? Start by examining the date. If the numbers appear closer to the rim and the edge is thicker than normal, you may have a wide rim version. Next, look for any doubling on the lettering or the features of Susan B. Anthony's profile. That could indicate a double die. If you really want to get serious, take your coin to a professional grader or numismatist to get an expert opinion, because while many of these coins are only worth $1 or $2, a very specific few, those in immaculate condition, with rare errors or varieties, have caught the attention of elite collectors and auction houses alike, and one such coin, verified and authenticated in near-perfect condition, featuring a rare mint error, has fetched a staggering $200,000. Yes, you heard that right. A coin that was once dismissed as a failed experiment by the public now stands as a potentially life-changing piece of American history. So before you toss your old coins into a parking meter or vending machine, take a closer look. That unassuming $1,979 coin sitting in your drawer might just be your golden ticket. Or better yet, your silver one. Second rare coin is the 2000 United States golden $1 coin. And if you're thinking, oh yeah, I've seen those, they're not worth much, think again, because hidden among those familiar golden coins is one version that has stunned collectors, made headlines, and sold for a mind-blowing sum. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and why this coin is not just a piece of currency, but a piece of American history with a secret twist. Let's start with the basics. The year 2000 was the dawn of a new millennium, and to mark the occasion, the U.S. Mint launched a brand new coin series, the Sacagawea dollar. Yes, that's right, this coin actually features Sacagawea, the courageous Shoshone woman who guided Lewis and Clark through uncharted territory. So, despite often being called a presidential dollar by mistake, the 2000 P dollar actually comes from the Sacagawea series, not the later presidential dollar series that started in 2007. Now, what makes this coin stand out, instantly, is its stunning golden color. Unlike the silver-toned coins Americans were used to, this $1 coin was minted with a manganese brass alloy, giving it that golden shine. It was designed to be both beautiful and durable, and it quickly became one of the most recognizable modern coins. But here's the twist, and where things get really interesting: while millions of these coins were minted in Philadelphia, that's what the P stands for, not all of them were struck perfectly. And in the world of coin collecting, an error can mean everything. In particular, a small number of these coins were mistakenly struck on planchets intended for different coins. Yes, that means a few of these golden Sacagawea dollars were made using the wrong metal blanks, such as those meant for quarters or foreign coins. These wrong planchet errors are extremely rare, incredibly hard to detect, and wildly valuable to collectors, but that's not the only type of rarity. Some coins from the 2000 P batch also show a wounded eagle error, where the eagle on the reverse side appears to have a mysterious line or gash across its body. Others have doubling in the lettering, or incredibly sharp detail due to being early strikes from fresh dies, known as first strike coins. And then there's the coveted Cheerios dollar. Wait, Cheerios? Yes, in 2000, as part of a promotional campaign, the U.S. Mint included specially struck Sacagawea dollars in select boxes of Cheerios cereal. These coins were different. The detail on the eagle's tail feathers was sharper, more pronounced, an early prototype design that was later changed in the general release. Today, these Cheerios dollars are one of the most sought-after modern coins, and almost no one even realized their significance back when they were handed out with breakfast. And just like with any coin, condition is everything. A coin in pristine, uncirculated condition is already worth more. But when you add a minting error, a rare strike variety, or a limited release like the Cheerios coin, that's when things go from interesting to incredible. So how do you know if your 2000 P dollar is worth more than $1? First, check the details. Look closely at the eagle, especially the tail feathers. Does it match up with the Cheerios version? Next, examine the edges, the date, the mint mark, and the strike quality. If you see doubling, strange markings, or any sign of a planchet error, you could be looking at something special. Of course, weighing the coin, using a magnifying glass, and comparing it to verified images online can help. And if you think you've got something truly rare, get it authenticated and graded by a professional service. That little coin might just make your day, or your year, because believe it or not, one of these rare 2000 P Sacagawea dollar coins, struck on the wrong planchet and preserved in near-perfect condition, has been sold to an eager collector for an astonishing $200,000. That's right, a simple $1 coin, the kind that might be lying at the bottom of a drawer or sitting quietly in a coin jar, has the power to be worth more than a house, a college education, or a luxury car. The next time you come across one of these golden dollar coins, don't dismiss it as just another modern piece. Give it a second look. It might just be one of the rarest, and most valuable, coins you'll ever come across. Third expensive coin is the 2008 P presidential $1 coin featuring America's 6th president, John Quincy Adams. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's just one of those golden dollar coins, right? Looks cool, maybe good for vending machines, but nothing more than face value. Well, not so fast. Because hidden among these coins are a few surprises, details that could turn that simple dollar into a serious payday. So grab your coins, take a seat, and stick with me, because what you're about to hear might change how you look at your change, forever. Let's start with the basics. In 2007, the United States Mint launched the presidential $1 coin program. The idea was simple but powerful: honor each U.S. president, 4 per year, in the order they served. In 2008, the second year of the program, the sixth coin in the series was minted for none other than John Quincy Adams, a man whose legacy goes far beyond just being the son of another president. John Quincy Adams was a diplomat, a senator, Secretary of State, and eventually, president. But after losing re-election, he did something unprecedented. He returned to public service as a member of the House of Representatives, where he fought fiercely against slavery and for civil rights. So when the U.S. Mint immortalized him on a coin, they weren't just honoring a president, they were honoring a relentless public servant and a complex figure in American history. The coin itself is golden in color, though not made of actual gold. It features Adams' dignified portrait on the obverse, along with his name, order of presidency, and years in office. Flip it over, and you'll find the Statue of Liberty in bold relief, symbolizing freedom and the enduring spirit of the nation. But here's where things get interesting. The 2008 John Quincy Adams coin minted in Philadelphia, identified by the P mint mark, was part of a massive production run. Yet, a small number of these coins left the mint with some unusual characteristics. And if you're lucky enough to spot one, you could be holding something far more valuable than a simple commemorative token. Let's talk about errors, because that's where the magic happens. The presidential $1 coins were supposed to include edge inscriptions, the year of minting, the mint mark, E pluribus unum, and in God we trust. But in some cases, these inscriptions were completely missing. That's right, blank-edged coins. Known to collectors as godless dollars, these errors caused a wave of excitement when they were first discovered, and yes, 2008 P. John Quincy Adams coins are among those with known edge inscription errors. Then there are double-edged lettering coins, where the inscriptions are struck twice, often overlapping or offset. Even more bizarre are partial inscriptions, missing words, and mismatched orientation where the text appears upside down or twisted. These aren't your everyday mistakes, these are minting mishaps that turn coins into coveted collectibles, and that's not all. There's also the matter of strike quality. Coins from early in the die's life tend to be sharper, with more detail and luster. These first strikes, or early strikes, are especially appealing to collectors. Combine that with a rare error and pristine condition, and you've got the ingredients for a truly extraordinary piece. So how do you know if your 2008 P. John Quincy Adams coin is special? Start with the edge. Check for missing or doubled lettering. Examine the strike, look for bold features, a clean finish, and minimal wear. If you have a digital scale, weigh it. Unusual weight might hint at a planchet error. And don't forget to verify the mint mark. It should clearly show a P for Philadelphia. If you think your coin stands out, don't keep it a mystery. Submit it to a professional coin grading service. They'll authenticate it, grade it, and, if you've hit the jackpot, certify its value, because believe it or not, one of these 2008 P. John Quincy Adams dollar coins, featuring a rare edge lettering error and preserved in near-perfect condition, was sold to a high-end collector for an astonishing $390,000. Yes, you heard that right. A coin worth just $1 at face value is now worth more than many homes in the U.S. simply because of a production flaw and perfect preservation. So the next time you find one of those golden dollar coins in your change, don't ignore it. Look closer. That small piece of metal might not just be honoring a president, it might be holding a piece of history and a life-changing surprise. Specially, we're taking a deep dive into a lesser-known, but surprisingly rare and valuable modern U.S. coin, the 2009 P. Presidential $1 coin featuring none other than Zachary Taylor, the 12th President of the United States. Now, you might be thinking, I've seen those golden coins, they're neat, but they're just $1, right? Not quite. Because the truth is, among these unassuming pieces of metal are a few exceptional versions that collectors have gone absolutely wild over. And if you happen to have one in the right condition, or with the right error, you could be holding something worth far more than a single dollar. So don't blink, because this is the story of how a coin that most people overlook could actually be one of the most valuable treasures in your change jar. Let's start with a little background. In 2009, the U.S. Mint was well into its presidential $1 coin program. Each year, 4 new coins were released, honoring the presidents in the order they served. That year's final release featured Zachary Taylor, a military hero who became president in 1849. Although his presidency was short, lasting just 16 months before his untimely death, his legacy was solidified in American history, and in 2009, his face was placed onto this striking, golden-colored coin. The obverse of the coin features Taylor's portrait, his name, his presidential number, and the years he served. The reverse showcases the Statue of Liberty, bold, proud, and symbolic of the enduring spirit of the nation. Around the edge of the coin, there should be inscriptions: the year of minting, the mint mark, pluribus unum, and in God we trust. But what if I told you, some of these inscriptions are missing? Yes, that's where this story takes a turn. Due to a minting error that occurred during production, a small number of Zachary Taylor dollar coins left the Philadelphia Mint without any edge lettering at all. These blank-edge dollars, often referred to as godless dollars, skipped a crucial step in the minting process and made it into circulation undetected. For a time, the result? Instant rarity. Serious collectors began hunting them down the moment the news broke, and demand soared. But that's not the only thing that makes these coins special. Some versions of the 2009 Zachary Taylor dollar exhibit double-edge lettering, where the edge inscriptions appear twice, often overlapping or slightly shifted. Others have misalignments, upside-down inscriptions, or even more extreme minting anomalies like being struck on the wrong planchet, a rare error where the blank used for the coin was never meant for a dollar coin in the first place. And let's not forget, this is a modern coin, which means it's still possible to find one in pristine, uncirculated condition. Combine that with a mint error or rarity, and the value of the coin increases exponentially. So how can you tell if your Zachary Taylor dollar is one of the rare ones? Start by checking the edge. If it's smooth with no inscriptions, you might have one of the infamous blank edge errors. Look for double text or strange spacing. You can also weigh the coin. If it doesn't match the typical specs, it might have been struck on the wrong planchet. And of course, if the coin appears to be in mint condition, meaning no scratches, discoloration, or wear, it's worth getting professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC. Grading can make all the difference when it comes to value, because believe it or not, one of these rare 2009 Zachary Taylor presidential dollars, featuring a missing edge inscription error and certified in near-perfect condition, sold for an incredible $330,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single coin, once worth just $1 at face value, now valued at more than most people make in a year. All because of a minting slip-up and a bit of luck. So before you toss that golden dollar into a vending machine or coin jar, take a closer look. That shiny little disc might not just be a tribute to a 19th century president, it might be a hidden jackpot just waiting to be discovered. Next coin, we're talking about the 2009 presidential $1 coin honoring William Henry Harrison, the 9th President of the United States. Now, don't let the coin's face value fool you. While it may read just $1, its true worth, if it meets a few rare criteria, could reach a level most people wouldn't even imagine. So sit back, grab your coin jar, and stay with me, because this story is one you'll want to hear from beginning to end. Let's start with some quick history. William Henry Harrison was a war hero, a general, and a man of immense national pride. But sadly, he's most often remembered for the shortest presidency in American history, just 31 days. After delivering the longest inaugural address on a cold, wet day, he fell ill and died of pneumonia, making his presidency tragically brief but historically unforgettable. Fast forward to 2009, when the U.S. Mint honored Harrison by placing him on the 9th coin in the presidential $1 coin program. The series had begun in 2007 and aimed to feature every U.S. president, in order, for per year. This particular coin was struck at the Denver Mint, hence the D Mint mark, and it featured Harrison's portrait on the front, along with the usual inscriptions, his name, order of presidency, and years served. On the back, as with all presidential dollars, is the Statue of Liberty, a bold symbol of American ideals. But the real intrigue with this coin lies not in its design, but in its mistakes. Because when it comes to coin collecting, sometimes an error is worth far more than perfection. Here's where it gets exciting. A small number of the 2009 William Henry Harrison dollars left the mint with critical edge lettering errors. You see, presidential dollars were unique in that they had key information, like the year, mint mark, e pluribus unum, and, in God we trust, engraved around the edge. But thanks to a minting glitch, some coins missed this process entirely. These blank edge coins are known as godless dollars, and they're incredibly rare, but it doesn't stop there. There are also coins from the Denver Mint batch that display double-edged lettering, where the inscriptions were stamped twice, creating a ghost-like blur or overlapping text. Some show partial inscriptions, upside-down text, or spacing errors. And in the world of numismatics, these are gold, figuratively and almost literally, and let's not forget condition. A coin in mint state, meaning it's never been circulated and shows no signs of wear, can drastically increase in value. Combine that condition with an edge lettering error or unique flaw, and you've got a coin that collectors will line up and bid high for. So how can you tell if your 2009 D. William Henry Harrison coin is one of the rare ones? Start with the edge. If you see no inscriptions, or if the text appears doubled or misaligned, that's your first clue. Weigh the coin. It should be around 8.1 grams. Check for sharp detail in the strike, especially in Harrison's hair, eyes, and the lines of his coat. If the design is crisp and the surfaces are clean with no scratches, your coin may be in uncirculated condition, making it even more desirable. If you're unsure, take it to a reputable coin dealer or submit it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. These professionals can verify authenticity, identify the error, and assign a grade that will help determine its market value. And trust me, when the stars align on one of these coins, the results can be jaw-dropping, because one of these rare 2009 D. William Henry Harrison dollar coins, featuring a missing edge lettering error and preserved in pristine, mint state condition, was auctioned off to a private collector for an astounding $370,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. One simple dollar coin that most people wouldn't give a second glance has become a high-value collectible, all because of a minting mistake and immaculate preservation. So the next time you come across one of these gold-colored dollar coins, don't just toss it aside or drop it in a vending machine. Take a moment. Check the edge. Examine the details. Because you might just be holding one of the rarest and most valuable coins minted in modern America. Last unique coin. We're talking about the 2007 presidential $1 coin featuring James Madison, the fourth President of the United States. Now you might be asking, isn't that just another one of those modern gold dollar coins? And that's fair. At first glance, it looks like a common commemorative coin you might find buried in your couch cushions. But don't be so quick to judge. Because hidden among the ordinary is an extraordinary version of this coin that collectors across the country have been chasing for years. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why one of these coins, struck in Philadelphia and seemingly just worth $1, was actually sold for an amount that will make your jaw hit the floor. Let's take a step back to 2007. That year, the U.S. Mint kicked off the presidential $1 coin program, an ambitious and historic project to honor each American president on a gold-colored dollar coin. 4 coins were released each year in the order that the president served. James Madison, the father of the Constitution, and one of the nation's most influential founding fathers, was chosen for the 4th release. Known for authoring much of the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights, Madison's legacy is etched into every corner of American government. So it was only fitting that he'd appear on one of the first coins in this historic series. The coin itself is beautiful in design. On the front, Madison is portrayed in a formal 18th-century style, his name encircling the top, along with his presidential order and term in office. The reverse features the iconic Statue of Liberty, standing strong, holding her torch high, a consistent feature across the presidential series. But the magic of this coin isn't just in its design. It's in the details most people overlook, because something went wrong at the mint. And when things go wrong during coin production, collectors pay attention. You see, the presidential coins are different from most U.S. coins. Instead of having their inscriptions on the front or back, they include them on the edge. These edge inscriptions carry the year of minting, the mint mark, e pluribus unum, and, in God we trust. But in some cases, especially with early 2007 coins, that step was accidentally skipped. Enter the godless dollars. These coins were released with completely blank edges, no inscriptions whatsoever. And the 2007 P. James Madison coin is one of the most famous among them, and it doesn't stop there. Some coins show double-edged lettering, where the inscriptions were stamped twice by accident, often overlapping or misaligned. Others have inverted edge lettering, where the text is upside down compared to other coins in the series. There are even versions struck slightly off-center or on the wrong metal planchet entirely. Each of these rare errors transforms a common coin into a prized and sought-after collectible. What makes the James Madison coin especially valuable to collectors is its place in the very first year of the presidential coin program. Early releases often carry more prestige and attention, and mistakes made early on tend to be rarer and more widely publicized, and here's where condition comes into play. A coin that's been in circulation, scratched, dinged, or faded, is worth a lot less than one that's never been touched. So when you find one of these error coins in mint state, that means it's been preserved in near-perfect condition since the day it was struck. Now imagine combining all those factors: a 2007 P. James Madison dollar coin with a missing edge lettering error, in perfect mint state, authenticated by a top grading service like PCGS or NGC. That, my friends, is where the value skyrockets. So, how can you tell if you've got one? Start by looking at the coin's edge. If there's no inscription at all, you may have a blank edge, godless error. If there's double or distorted text, that's even better. Next, look for the P mint mark, showing it came from the Philadelphia Mint. And of course, check the overall condition: sharp details, flawless surfaces, and no signs of wear. And if you think you've struck gold, don't sit on it. Get that coin professionally graded and authenticated. Because coins like this don't just sit quietly in drawers, they end up in auctions, breaking records, and turning heads. In fact, one such 2007 P. James Madison dollar coin, with a rare mint error and preserved in stunning uncirculated condition, was sold to an elite collector for a staggering $400,000. Yes, you heard that right. A coin with a face value of just $1 ended up being worth enough to buy a luxury home or put several kids through college. All because of a tiny mistake at the US Mint and someone smart enough to recognize what they had. So don't overlook your coins. That ordinary-looking piece in your pocket might just be a hidden masterpiece, waiting for someone like you to uncover its true value. If you found this video fascinating, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another incredible story from the world of rare coins. And if you've ever found a presidential dollar coin with strange features, tell us about it in the comments. We'd love to hear your story. Until next time, keep your eyes sharp, your curiosity alive, and never underestimate the power of a dollar. Because sometimes, it's worth far more than you could ever imagine.